This week's video is a rather special one. I have a collaboration with many YouTube friends about a new variety of vegetable called the garlic. Row 7 put out seeds after developing this new variety for 10 years. And I've sent seeds all over the world to have people test it out in their gardens. Join me.
Right guys, back in April, Robin invited me to join in with the Sweet Garleek collaboration. Sounds like a Sam Motown record, doesn't it? Sweet Garleek. Anyway, so I gladly accepted. The seeds arrived. I planted them in these 10-inch pots. Did them in pots because I wanted to give them the maximum care for a seed that is well, quite scarce in the UK, to tell you the truth. And they grew on, and suddenly in the last week they've put a little bit of a spurt on. The seed website says they should be picked when they're about the size of a pencil, which is like a Sharpie to me, and they just are. So I'm going to pick all these, bring you back and show you what they look like before I decide what to do with them. Okay, that's them all lifted. Quick observation, a lot of them have got tiny little leeks, or garlics, sweet garlics. Ooh. Growing off the side of the main one, little tiny ones. So whether they can be saved to grow on, I don't know, but I will, because there's not much point eating those, is there? Clean these up, back in a bit. Right, I've taken 1 or 2 flags off each garlic, just to get them down to some clean white bits. First observation, very erratic sizes. I mean, those are the size of a Sharpie, wherever it is. There we are, look, sort of Sharpie size. And these are a lot smaller. So what I'm going to do now, clean them up a bit better, and decide what to cook with them, which will probably be tomorrow now because it's just started drizzling. And for those of you that are observant, you'll notice I put the same t-shirt on for continuity purposes. Oh dear. The Row 7 Seeds website does say you can eat the greens as well. Not a great fan of leek greens, but what I'm going to do straight away is I'm going to eat a raw one. So let's try a small one because that's not going to be much use for cooking, is it? So just have a nibble. I hope this isn't like a chili. Just tastes like a warm onion to start off with. I'll try a little bit of a thicker one. Just a little bit, because I want to save it for cooking. I'm not getting much garlic. I'm getting a bit of hot onion. Hotter than a leek. And not as hot as an onion, but almost onion. And we'll see. We'll see. Perhaps it all comes out in the cooking. All right, back tomorrow. All right, guys, quick update. It's quarter of an hour since I had a quick nibble of the raw ones. And I'm getting a little bit of a garlicky taste in my mouth, and the onion's gone. Bit weird, isn't it? Okay, guys, here we go then, very quickly. Sweet garlicky carrot corn soup. Gonna be well sped up, this. So we got the sweet garlics, 1 sweet garlic green, onion, corn, fresh carrots, a bit of butter and oil for cooking in, and some salt and pepper for seasoning. One more thing, Worcester sauce, I'll put a splash of that in at the end. So let's get this heated up. Splash of oil, knob of butter. Always use oil with butter if you're going to be doing any hot cooking. Butter burns otherwise, but it does give a great flavour. These have all been washed, so there's no worries about that. I'm just going to split these open just to make sure they're clean inside, which they are because they're grown in compost pots. Yeah, lovely. And that's them. Half an onion. Just sweat those down a bit. Then with some veg stock, that's about just under ½ a litre. I'm only making enough for one, look. Rolling boil. Definitely needs some salt and some pepper. Good splash of the old Worcestershire sauce. Leave that out if you're vegetarian. And let it simmer now, 20 odd minutes. Okay then, 20-25 minutes. That's thickened up a little bit. Just a small portion, that'll do. Yeah. Right, garlicky bits first. Here's a green bit. Certainly leaky. And certainly better than it was when it was raw. Are there any white bits? Let's find a white. There's a white bit. Yeah, it's all right. There is garlic there, but if I was making a garlicky soup, I'd want more. So, does that make sense? I'm going to blitz this because I like blitzy soups. I don't really like chunky soups. Right, that's how I like my soups, guys. Not a puree, not for this type of soup, and not lumpy, a bit in between. So let's have a taste, eh? No, that's nicer. Yeah, there is garlic there. You can sense it, but not locate it. Does that make sense? That is very, very nice. Whether I could do it with leeks and garlic, I don't know. Do I like the sweet garlic? It's a good concept. Maybe wouldn't grow it again. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure, but I'm never sure about anything, am I? Well, I hope this helps, Robin. Very wishy-washy, but here you go. Thanks again. Ooh.
Hi, Robin. Thank you for asking me to do your garlic trial. They've been growing away behind me here. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not the most impressive crop of garlics that you'll have in this trial. I have 9 plants. They've been growing here quite nicely, but they got slightly overshadowed by all the Cape gooseberries and the ocker here and the badger flamer next to them. And also the foxes have quite enjoyed digging up this bed this year. So they're not the strongest specimens. They were sown 4th of June and planted out on the 20th of July. So it's been about 4 months of growth. There we go. Oh, they're so cute. I did multi-sow mine as well, which might account for why they're quite small, as well as them being a bit shaded. So maybe if I did them again, I wouldn't multi-sow. Okay, the leeks are washed and they smell kind of like 3-cornered leek. It's lunchtime, so I thought what I would make is a sourdough flatbread, put on some of my tomatoes and any other things I find, but I want the garlics to be the star of the show, so they'll go on top. So I need to make a quick dough. Okay, I've just rolled out the dough to a fairly thin, rustic looking shape, and I'm going to start frying that off in the pan now. And I'm not going to chop them too fine. I'm going to keep them quite chunky. Actually, that might be enough for the top of this, and then I can keep those ends for something else later today. Okay, let's flip the flatbread and put on our toppings. Right, now for the moment of truth. Let's have a taste. Right, I'm going to just pick a piece off and taste it like that to start with. I don't know. Do you like it, Dory? I don't know, there's a hint maybe of garlic. No, it mostly just tastes of leek. But I don't have a particularly nuanced palate, and all the same, it's very delicious. Thank you for letting me be a part of this, Robin. I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, cheers.
Okay, so we're just waiting for things to cool down. But this is my cheese and garlic scones. And because I wanted to do something really funky, I threw a few cranberries in there as well. And they're actually quite, still a bit warm. Sorry, gardener's fingernails. I was out picking the garlics, obviously. chopped them fine. I won't bore you to death, with watching me mix them all up, because Robin only wants a small video. So what I will do is I will put the recipe in the notes for Robin, and she can post them if she wishes. Have a great day. Thanks for inviting me to the collab, Robin. Bye. Hi. So the garlics, would I grow them again? Probably not. They were not enough bang for the buck, shall we say. But they were quite tasty in the scones. They were a juxtaposition, I love that word, of flavors with the tangy cranberries, the garlic, and the sharpness of the cheddar cheese. So they were good. Thanks for inviting me, Robin.
So I've just finished a pile of jobs at the plot and the weather is against me, but Robin's asked for an update on the garlics. Now, in early spring, Robin sent me some garlic seeds and they were exciting to grow because they were a blend of garlic and leek together. And I've planted them in a few places in my beds and hoping that the different environments I could find the right one for me, and we've had some success. So in these cold and wet days, what better to have some homemade tomato soup that I've already made with some garlics. But I thought, what better way to accompany that and a nice cheese and garlic toasty that I can dunk into that nice fresh soup. Let's go. So I've harvested the garlics. Now they're not as big as I thought they'd be at this time of year. I did sow these and plant them out in about May time, so I was hoping them to be bigger than this, but they're of a spring onion size and they'll be perfect for my toasty, so let's get home. So it's actually the evening now, and I actually tried it first of all in a grilled cheese sandwich, which we call a cheese toasty, which I actually had with some nice fresh tomato soup that I actually made yesterday. So yeah, I've now added it to the gravy of this. Now I've got a nice steak pie, some swede mash, some red cabbage, some sprouts, and some carrots. But in the gravy I actually used the garlics as well, so I used the remaining ones in there. So let's try it and then I'll get back to you. So the verdict, if I'm honest, I preferred it in the grilled cheese sandwich with the fresh tomato soup over the gravy. I felt like even though I fried the garlic and then added it to the gravy just to try and intensify the flavour, I still just had hints of leek come through rather than the garlic. However, when I cooked it in the grilled cheese sandwich, I felt like the garlic flavour came out a bit better. But would I grow them again? Absolutely. Even though the garlic flavour wasn't as strong as I thought it was going to be, I expected it to be a little bit more intense than it was. It was mainly leek coming through. I still enjoyed growing them, and so thank you so much, Robin, for including me on your grow along.
Well, here's my little garlic patch, and I'm going to pick a variety of sizes to test. There they are. I'm going to get these cleaned up. I'll slice them in half because leeks have a way of hiding dirt, and roast them for a taste test just to get a pure idea. So I've got the leeks out of the oven and they're a bit cooled, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a taste. All I'm getting is a normal leek flavor. I am not getting any, well, maybe on the back end a little garlic. Very little. Honestly, it just tastes like a normal leek. Oh well. So I'm going to make a little recipe with the garlics. I'm going to start by making a cream filling. This one is half goat cheese and half cream cheese with lemon zest and lemon thyme, some parsley. I like that tripled curled kind. It's very flavorful. Black pepper, and you might add a little salt, but oftentimes the cheese is already salty enough. And you're going to have to play with the combination till you get what you like. We like it very herby. Now here I'm taking my puff pastry cut in strips with the filling on it, and I'm rolling it just to make it fancy. I've done this before with asparagus. That works great for a fancy little something when you're having guests. Those are the last of my Tim's Taste of Paradise cherry tomatoes. I have put the cheese filling on the dough in squares now, and I'm kind of doing one of those upside down pastries with the tomatoes and leeks and cheese. Spraying on a little bit of avocado oil and cooking it for it ended up being about a little over 20 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It's tasty, but I'm not getting any garlic. But it's tasty. So this is Danny's toasty version with a little bit of habanero pepper roasted in there, and I roasted the garlics. Wow, I do get more of the garlic flavor this way. That's crazy. So what do you think of the Danny Toasty?
The Danny Cheese Toasty sandwich is delicious. I'm still getting mostly leek, but the sandwich is delicious, as is the tomato soup.
We tested a lot of sizes of garlics roasted. I had one that was over an inch around, and wowzers, was that one hot. So it's best to eat them a little bit on the smaller side. And I thought everybody did a great job being creative, coming up with recipes on how to use these. I'm going to try all of them myself. Remember, sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now. We'll see you on the next one. And thank you, everybody, for participating.